Baby, you give me feels and I know that it's real. You give me feels.
Hey guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. I'm Hope.
I'm Key.
And today we're doing a mukbang. So we got all this food from a Mexican place, not too far from here. And I got tacos.
I got these chimichangas and they kind of messed up on my food, so let's hope that it's good.
It'll be good. And we got chips and salsa. And we got flan, which I'm really excited about because I love flan and baby's never tried it before, so it'll be her first time.
I ain't trying it.
Yes, you are. And it'll be good, I promise you. It's good. It kind of tastes like vanilla. We'll get there. Anyway, so in this mukbang, we're just going to be talking about our relationship, how we keep our relationship happy and healthy.
As fuck.
And yeah, just tips on how to keep your relationship as good as it can possibly be.
Okay, so once again, we're going to say this has nothing to do with everyone else. These are things that make us happy and that keep us happy. And hopefully that what we do, you guys can actually do too, and then actually help. And like when we say things, like we're not lying. Like these are, like we're not showing for the camera. Like this is real and this is exactly what we do. So, yeah. So, what do you think is like the number one thing that in our relationship that keeps it going?
I feel like something that's really, really important before we get into like all the nitty gritty things is that both parties have to be willing to put in the work.
Yeah.
Because it can't just be like one person being like, oh, well, I have good communication and I trust them and I do this and I do that, but the other person isn't doing those things. It's not going to work. I have to put in just as much work as she does and vice versa. Otherwise, all of whatever you're doing is for nothing.
I feel, you like it? Mm-hmm. Mine's kind of good so far. I feel what keeps our relationship so healthy is it's like a day by day thing. It's like you have to.
Yeah.
I feel like you can't get content in your situation that you're in. Like, and that sounds probably crazy, but I feel like every day you have to show them why they chose each other. You know what I mean? Like you can't. Oh, I got her. You know what I mean? Or him if straight couples watching this. I got him too. You know that you could just keep doing what you're doing now.
Right.
And a lot of things is too, our honeymoon stage is not going to ever stop.
I don't think so.
You know what I mean? It's like a honeymoon stage should never stop. It should always rekindle if it does. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like here's some tips that I do. Like when I'm saying day by day. Like every day we wake up. She either wake up to a good morning text or I wake up to a good morning text. You know what I mean? Let me fast forward. Let me rewind. Yeah. Every day, every night, me and Babe pray together. You know what I mean? Like that's one thing that we definitely do. We pray together. And the one thing we thank God for is bringing us together and strengthening our relationship. So that's one thing that we do. And I'm gonna say this too. We are not perfect. We are definitely not the perfect relationship, but it's definitely it's worth it. Our relationship is so worth it, and I'm very happy.
I was gonna say and I forgot, and now I'm mad that I forgot it.
But every day I text her, tell her how beautiful she is and stuff like that. Every day.
Every single day since the first day that we met. Not a day has gone by where she hasn't told me that I'm beautiful. Literally every single day. If she doesn't say it, I'm like.
But you never have to remind me. Like it's just said. It's said, and
I'm not saying that you have to like call your partner beautiful or compliment them every day. That brings me to a great point. I think something that's really important in keeping your relationship like strong and healthy is knowing each other's love language. Because you could be pouring out to your partner, but that's not what they need. So they're like, oh, like if Keyona didn't know my love language, then I'd be like, oh, well, she doesn't do anything for me. And Keyona in her head is like, well, I'm doing so much. But it's like, that's not what I need from her. Right. You know, you have to know what your partner needs from you and always keep that in mind. And another thing to keep in mind
I'm
none
fast
of
up over
it.
eating.
Well, I want to eat too, but this food is really freaking good. Is that sometimes, like, I always grew up thinking that relationships should be equal, you know, 50-50. But sometimes it's not always going to be that way. Sometimes, like, Keyona's going to need me to give more of myself. And sometimes I'm going to need her to give more of herself. Because as much as we want it to be equal, sometimes that's just not... That's just not how it works. And one of the greatest things about our relationship is I feel like she always knows, like, when I need her to step up for me. Like, even just waking up in the morning, she can just tell that it's just gonna be one of them days.
Yeah.
Just gonna be one of them days. She just knows. We just know each other that well that at this point I don't even have to say anything because she just gets me.
Yes. And then, like, go back to the whole love language thing. Like, she found out, like, she know, like, my love language is words of affirmation. Like, even though, like, I'm far from insecure, but it's just like when your girl look at you and just tell you how fine you are, you know what I mean? And it's like the other day, and I'm not gonna say 27 years because of course I came out when I was like 16 or 17, but you know how people say for 27 years I never ever showed anyone like a picture just like my full body. Of course, when you having, you know what I mean, grown people things, yeah, like you see that, but you really don't because you just be in a moment. But like I finally sent it out there before I put it on social media. If I had my phone, I would read the text. But
I have my phone.
you got it. Yeah. I think I remember it like verbatim for real.
Do you?
Yeah, but she said something so beautiful, and like it meant a lot. But I got so like I knew that I could show her and it wouldn't be no judgment. You know what I mean? But she told me like I will always love you no matter what. You know what she said?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's, you know what I mean? That's what she said. Like, basically, no matter how I look, at the end of the day, she just sees Keyona and that's it. Oh, yeah, and she said I was perfect. Yeah. Which we all know. Nobody's perfect, but, you know.
She's not perfect, but I think she's the perfect person for me, 100%.
We're goofy as heck. We're childish, for real.
Sometimes, yeah, it's very childish.
Yeah, but that's what keeps it going, like, and I know people gonna say this, but you ain't always got to be serious, like, you know what I mean? Like, it gets sometimes, like, you know, we know we're adults. We're gonna be adults for the rest of our life now. Like let's try to, you know what I mean? Get some.
Have fun.
Yeah.
Because if you're not having fun with your partner, then what are you having?
Like, it's like my best friend. You know what I mean?
We're BFFs, but she don't like when I call her bro. But you my bro.
What?
No, because if I say it to you later, you're gonna say something.
I'll say another thing is, we don't argue. Like, that sounds out the wall. When I say argue, we don't have full-blown arguments. We have more debates than arguments over anything. Y'all might say the same thing to us. It's totally different. Like, argument, like, our debate, well, I don't like this, but I didn't like this, da-da-da-da. But as soon as we feel like it might be an argument, we nip it in the bud. Like, you know what I mean? If we feel something's going on in our relationship, like, say we got into a situation and we're like, all right, well, babe, I'm just going to call you back. You know what I mean? And then we do some self-reflecting. We don't argue about it. And then, like, we'll talk to each other like nothing just happened. But as soon as we get back on the phone, you know, we tell each other we love each other. But then we bring up what just happened that made us get off the phone. And then we'll point out where I was wrong and where she is wrong. And when you admit that you know that you're wrong, that's what makes a total difference. Like, but it be sometimes that we'll go through something and she'll call me back. And I'm like, you know, you get in a relationship like, what she want? But you know, you gonna answer that phone call still. But every time it's like, she wants to apologize for something that she said and vice versa. Something that I said.
Always apologize to each other. No matter what it is, we always apologize.
Yeah, and if you feel like you're about to get an argument, get off the phone or step away from each other. Because when you get an argument, you do say things that you... And people say you say things that you really mean. That's not always true either.
So.
You know what I mean? Like, you say things that... You know what I mean? You're going to have saying things that's going to make matters worse. So I'd rather you walk away or, like, you know, first of all, don't hang up. Be like, you know what, babe? I'm going to call you back because we're going to do some self-reflecting. You know what I mean? Because you're going to say, like I said, you're going to say things and you're going to make it worse. And then...
Say things that you don't really mean.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's a really big thing, being able to admit when you're wrong and apologizing for it. And And that's something that prior to this relationship, I had to do some soul searching of my own to figure that out. Because, because I would always think, oh, they did this to me, they did that to me. It was never my fault. Regardless of the situation, I could never be wrong. I'm the victim. But you have to come to a point where you realize, like, okay, maybe I did play a part in this in some way. Even if I don't see it, obviously they feel some type of way. So there must have been something that I did to play a part in why they feel that way. And you got to be able to admit that to yourself and be able to apologize. And sometimes you just got to be the bigger person, and that's just.
And also, a key point is, you have to tell somebody when you don't like something. How is anybody supposed to change if you don't tell them that you don't like something? Right. Like, for example, if she just stick her fork right now and ate my food, and I don't like stuff like that, which, you know, I won't mind at all, but I don't like stuff, if I don't like stuff like that, how would she know that she's making me mad if I don't ever tell her? So it's like, y'all have to tell each other, even though it's gonna probably make them feel some type of way, you know what I mean? But it's something they probably doing that they don't even notice that they're doing, and then, you know, they're gonna keep doing it, so you're just gonna keep getting upset, and then it can eventually, you know what I mean, hurt the relationship.
People can't read your minds, you know? My stepdad always says, shoot, what did he say? He says, you have not what you ask not. So, like, if you don't ask for something, if you don't tell somebody, like, what you want or what you like or what you don't like, then you're not going to get it. Because they don't know, you know? You have to be very vocal about certain things.
I know a good point, too, babe.
What?
Okay. Y'all might sound like this cliche or whatever, or just, oh, no, you're just moving too fast, da-da-da-da. When you first meet someone, y'all first conversation or second conversation, y'all need to talk about the future and what they want. Because, for example, you know you want kids, but you don't know if that person wants kids. Because time to find out, that person might not want kids.
Right.
So y'all go through your
now
whole...
you in love with them.
Right, yeah, now you go through a whole relationship. Now you choosing, should I leave this person because they don't want kids, but I want kids, and kids is very important to me. Like, you want to know what their goals is. You want to know how much kids they want. Y'all got to be on exact... Now, I would say about, y'all got to be on like at least 80% on the same level on what you guys want. Because that 20% could be compromised. Like, y'all can compromise between that. Where you want to live at, you know what I mean? Like, do you want to get married? There's a lot of stuff that y'all have to, you know what I mean?
Discuss.
Exactly.
Before, like, things you have to discuss, like, in the talking stage before you get into a full-blown relationship with them. Because what's the point? Like, if you see yourself, you know, if you're an adult, like getting married and like having a future with somebody, but they're just here to, like, you know, chill and hang out, then it's like you guys shouldn't be together because you guys don't want the same thing. You're not on the same page.
Exactly.
If one person wants something and the other person doesn't, like, oh, that brings me to a good key point. Compromise. Some things are compromisable. Now, wanting kids and not wanting kids, that might not be something you'd be able to compromise on, which is like 1,000% fine, because that's a huge thing. Right. But compromise is a huge thing, which keeps our relationship going. Mostly on her side, because I feel like she compromises with me more than I compromise with her sometimes. You
know what I mean? At the end of the day is happy wife, happy life, and then I gotta be happy too. I'm still the wife too, you know.
Yes.
Trust. Like, it don't come at point in no time, and I think it's with both of us. She can tell me if I'm lying, but a point in time is like, if she's not answering her phone, which never happens, and I always answer my phone too, but I would never ever think that she was with someone else. Like, it would never cross my mind. I would put my life on the line knowing that she'll never cheat on me. Like, that is big. What? Oh, you looking like, hold up. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I know she would never cheat on me. I might dibble and dabble a little bit.
You don't.
Say.
You do not.
But no, I would never do that. So you come with that, and then, like I said, communication. Max.
You gonna move her? Yes, he's playing with the plastic bag.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, and then it's just,
Trust is a thing that I don't know. For some people, it has to be built because, you know, some people have trust issues from past relationships, which is completely understandable.
But if you do,
but
you shouldn't get into a relationship yet.
Right, that's what I was going to say. Something that we both did before we got into this relationship, before we even really met each other, is we don't like to carry what happened in our last relationship into our new relationship, because the person I dated before her is not her. And the person she dated before me is not me. So you can't like put things that your ex did onto your current partner. Not only is it not fair, but they're not the same people. So you can't expect them to do the same things.
Right.
But again, that's something that you just have to come to terms with within yourself before you get into a new relationship. Because when we got together, you know, she was talking her game to me or whatever. But I never doubted once. Now she was lying to me, that she was trying to say stuff to me that like just that sounded good. And you know, some people you can tell when they're just like spitting game, just trying to like, you know, say things that you want to hear. But I never for a minute, since the day we met, never for a minute ever doubted any of the things that she said to me.
Well,
I'm not sure why that is, because
I'm gonna tell you why.
Why?
I'm just gonna say it. Okay, she's probably gonna be mad when I say this. You don't get mad. Okay, so when we first started talking, I was talking to people. Okay, but the girls that I was talking to, including Babe, I let her know that, listen, I am talking to other people. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, it's like I'm either gonna hurt them or I'm gonna hurt myself. So I just need to be straight up honest. I was honest from day one. Like, I'm gonna be honest. If I go out there and do some crazy things that I know is gonna mess up my relationship, I gotta be honest about it, because in the day I was woman enough to go do it, so now I had to be honest with it. But unless I cheat, of course she's not gonna play that and stuff like that. But 9 times 10, if you come back and just be honest, you're gonna have to deal with the consequences. You might not stop hearing about it for a year from now,
right? But
you still might be able to save your relationship and not lose the one that was meant for you. You know what I mean? And the one thing that Babe say a lot, and it really be touching my, you know,
what?
Like, I make jokes like, why you think we supposed to be together? And she'll always be like, because I really feel like God really brought us together. Like, she really believes.
I really do.
Yeah, like,
because like you said, when we first met, she was talking to other girls, and she told me, like, from literally first day we met, she was like, yeah, I am talking to some other people, whatever. And she said, she was like, I don't want you to feel like it's a competition, like you have to compete with them to like try to win me. And I said to her, I was like, it's not a competition, but I'm gonna win. And look at me now.
Yeah, and it's crazy. Like, it's crazy how it happened. I'm so hardly happy that it did happen. Like, we corny as heck.
We are.
But it's a beautiful thing. And then they say opposites attract. Not in all circumstances, though. Like,
I don't think so.
We're both.
And that hasn't worked out for me personally.
Me either. Not saying all my exes were bad. Some of our exes we just didn't work out. You know what I mean? Like, that's just how it happened. But I forgot what I was about to say. Gosh.
But
we're both
very
clingy.
alike.
We're both clingy. We're both emotional. Not like we're gonna cry in an instant. Not like that. Like, we both understand each other's feelings. We both have deep feelings. So you know what I mean? Like, yeah, you're crazy. So you know, but you have that too, that actually, you know, because it's like, oh, she's too clingy, she need to move away. If I'm clingy too, I understand that.
Right.
But Baby's a little more emotional than I am, and Baby's a little more clingy than I am. But that's okay. And I love it, and I never push her away, you know what I mean? Like, I indulge it, I indulge in it, I love it, and it's very welcoming, you know what I mean?
But that's another good thing that I want to bring up, is that this isn't really necessarily when you're in a relationship, but when you're looking for a relationship, is to date your type. Like, don't go after somebody who's not gonna give you the things that you want.
Right.
Like, if she didn't like a clingy person, and I'm super clingy, but she doesn't like that.
And I only want her because she's pretty, you know what I mean?
Right, then it's like every time I act that way, she's gonna get annoyed with me because she doesn't like that. So don't date somebody who does things that you don't like, and not necessarily things that they can change. That's just who they are as a person.
Like, we're old now. We're just who we are right now.
Exactly. Don't do that, because you won't get hurt.
I didn't expect none of this to happen. I'm gonna be honest with you. All right, so that was it. That was our, what keep us together and keep us happy and keep us going. If you have any questions or you feel like, you're going through something like that, it's not always just give up either. Like, you know what I mean? Try to make it work. So we know you walked out that relationship. You did everything that you could do and it still didn't work, then that person was not for you.
Exactly.
So if you have any questions, then y'all can always, leave comments below. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. We are definitely going to have
subscribe.
a lot more stuff. We're still new, so we're still learning. Any tips or any questions or anything you'd like us to go over, just let us know. All right, we done talking. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe, and we are out. We better finish this food.
Yeah.
Bye.